Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Plant Power Podcast. Hanging out here at the Dignitary Kava House at our medical card lounge, and we're hanging out here. And I've told you guys before that on this podcast, I try to bring in brilliance. I don't know much about anything, to be honest with you. I know I enjoy cannabis. I'm enjoying a lot of plant products, but I'm trying to bring in brilliance. And this young man, I got a chance to sit with him a couple months ago, and just seemed like a brilliant young mind. And I said, I got to get involved with this young guy. And we're blessed to have Austin Kelly from Cannabis Doc here. How you doing, brother?
Doing awesome. Thanks for having me.
Good stuff. Now, we met not too long ago, and my first, impression of you was that you're a smart young kid. Now, you started Cannabis Doc. Explain exactly what Cannabis Doc is.
So we're a medical marijuana clinic. We have about 3 around the Tampa Bay area. A 4th one actually coming here to Dignitary.
Nice.
It's going to be about 3 weeks from now. We'll have our doctor down here every Friday from 9 to 5. And they'll go ahead and, start proving patients for y'all. Get some people legal, out there, go ahead and get some medical marijuana so they can kind of get off the street side, see some quality, get some variety in your life. It's gonna be big, it's gonna be fun.
Good stuff. So we're here at 4817 Southwest Shore Boulevard. You guys haven't been here before, shame on you. But we're gonna have Cannabis Doc here with your doctors here. But talk about Cannabis Doc as a whole. I mean, how many doctors you have involved with you, and how many locations do you have?
Yep, we got 3 doctors on, Dr. Stagg, Dr. Shelton, and Dr. Datilla. All of them very patient friendly. They're not here to not approve you. They're really here, the big firm believers in holistic medication, to approve you, get you that holistic relief.
Sure.
We find a lot of patients that come in addicted to opiates, addicted to benzos. They don't really like that.
Sure.
Those patients tired of being on medication, tired of being on prescription pills. Getting over to that holistic side. Our locations are over there in Newport Richey, right in the downtown area.
Yep.
It's thriving over there. It's great. Zephyr Hills as well. Awesome. We actually had a True Leaf come in right next to us.
Nice.
From all the patients we brought over there. So we're doing big things. Yes, sir. Man. And then main office is directly across from USF in Moffett. We got the pleasure of, helping out a lot of cancer patients, along with a lot of students that have a lot of anxiety, coming back to school from COVID, so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we've been doing this for about 3 years. It's super rewarding. That's kind of the best aspect of it.
Yeah.
Meet so many different types of patients, that you can help out.
That's beautiful.
And all of our employees, very customer centric. Really want what's best for everybody.
Well, that's kind of what, having a kava house. At first, I'm like, I'm going to be selling kava to people. That's great. But it's amazing at the lives that you change. And I think that's what's so beautiful about it. And there's a lot of people out there that still come to me and they ask, am I eligible to get my card? And I want to tell I don't want to say everybody's eligible, but I think just everybody pretty much has something which makes them eligible. Speak on that.
Yeah, that's a great part about Florida. They put a lot of qualifying conditions out there: anxiety, chronic non-malignant pain, PTSD. Everyone's been through a lot of stuff in life.
Sure.
There's really, throw it out there, you're more than likely going to qualify. There's a very small percent of people that aren't going to qualify.
Sure.
And grateful Florida did that for everyone down here patient-wise. At first, the qualifying conditions were a little bit lower, and that's why you didn't see it kind of start to thrive until about 3 years ago when you started to hear about your friends getting your cards, so on and so forth. So, anxiety, biggest one, PTSD, say about 60 to 70% of our patients. And then, we have some more serious cases, of course, with cancer, Parkinson's, but about 15 qualifying conditions. We have an easy ailment sheet, so you just check off any that apply to you. You'll then sit in with the doctor, about 10-15 minute consultation to talk about that. They'll give you resources on where to buy that medication, some recommendations on what routes could be most effective for you as well. So such as flower, tincture oils, edibles, inhalation, so many different products out there. That's the really fun part.
So it used to be, when I first got my card, which now about 5 years ago, I don't know how, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
You got okayed for the card. It took 2 weeks to get your email. Then you got an email that you could bring into the dispensary, but you didn't get your card for another month. It's evolved since then. What's the process now?
Oh yeah, it's about happened a month ago. The DOH then allowed any Florida resident with a Florida ID or a Florida driver's license to go ahead and be approved that same day.
Wow.
So as soon as you see our doctor, we're going to give you a folder with the last steps that you have to complete, which is basically verification. And then once that's complete, you can go right on to the dispensary that same day, purchase whatever you like to go ahead and help your ailments out.
Unbelievable. So what have you've been, are you from the Florida area?
I'm actually from Tampa, one of the rare ones, yes sir.
One of the very, very rare ones. Did you think that we would be here in 2022? Do you think we would get here, and what's the next step? I mean, recreational obviously, but are we further ahead than you thought we may be at this point?
We're progressing. Florida's a unique state. I did expect us to be here for a while. I've been paying attention to the industry since '09.
Yeah, you have.
But finally in 2016 it happened, and every year they're making few changes just to make it even better. So we'll kind of see what comes. I've met with Senator Brandes, and we've kind of chatted about consumption lounges, talked about flower and trying to get that increase, so on and so forth. So we're doing our part to try to improve it as well. The best we can. Politics does play a pretty firm role down here in Florida when it comes to this industry.
Sure does.
But we're definitely trying to make it better for all of our patients. We know what you guys want, and we love feedback from everybody too, to see what we can do to better improve your life as well.
So you said you've been in the cannabis game since '09. You're a young man. You've been on top of things, and you seem to be a step ahead of everybody, which is what you want to be. What is your background with cannabis?
So with cannabis, it's just an opportunity that I kind of saw. It was on the next forefront.
Are you a smoker yourself?
Yeah, I'm a card holder.
Okay.
I smoke, stress relief, anxiety.
Sure.
Operating a business.
I understand.
Very stressful.
I understand.
But I actually moved out in LA back in 2012 for a year, and ended up getting my card out there before it was recreational. Saw how easy of a process it was, and that's really what I replicated here in Florida. And then kind of put my own spin on it to improve upon it.
Okay, beautiful.
But yeah, firm believer in it down here. California, a little bit different with how Florida is, but like I said, we're progressing slowly to get there.
Sure.
I know we'll be recreational according to the senator, probably by 2024 at the earliest, 2026 at the latest. But with stuff coming on the ballot, getting some signatures collected with some of these dispensaries are doing, there's a possibility for sooner. And then we can mix in a little consumption lounge aspect, which is going to basically be like a bar, but for a place to kind of come together with other cannabis smokers and converse. So it should be very, very fun.
No doubt about that. So you've been in the game for a long time now, but I've heard of some, not really horror stories, but I've heard of some doctors not doing things the right way. You know what I mean? What are some of the horror stories that you've heard?
I hear a lot of doctors charging too much.
I've heard that too.
Doctors charging an arm and leg $350, $400 for a visit. That's not what we're about, at all. To give you guys like a price point for us, we're $195 for first-time patient, $150 for renewals. Also have a few other ways to save money with referring friends.
Sure.
Veteran discount. We love to support our veterans as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we'll always be there. Some more stories. A lot of doctors kind of drill patients for some reason. I don't know why. I've tried to train our doctors not to really dig too deep into PTSD. There's a reason why.
It shouldn't be a stressful experience.
Exactly. We want everyone to leave happy and smiling.
Sure.
And so far, this crew that I got together, they've been able to produce that for the past couple of years. Very grateful.
Awesome. Now, we were just talking before we went on air about concealing and guns.
Yeah.
And I've been asked many times, what about, I have a gun permit, can I get my marijuana license? Explain it, because I've heard it explained a bunch of different times. I'm not quite sure I understand it.
It can be a little complex. It's a big gray area. I know the federal government has to work on it a little bit, but I am a medical marijuana card holder. I do have my concealed carry. I do buy weapons.
Okay.
So it definitely is possible. So your concealed carry is always good for 7 years. If your concealed carry is about to expire, what you would want to do is then just let your med card expire, renew your concealed, and then you go right back into getting your med card again and purchasing medical marijuana. That's the easiest way to simplify it.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So I've heard a lot of people talk about it, but not anybody say it that's simple. And that's gonna help some people.
Most certainly. Yeah.
No.
Nothing you ever have to worry about with that. Our staff gets asked that about 5 times a day on the phones, and we explain it to them. And same with CDL. A lot of truck drivers, don't think they can get their card. That's another thing. We've had probably about 100 to 200 patients who are truck drivers, and you are A-okay, nothing you have to worry about there. We do always tell people it is dependent on your contract with your company. If you do test positive, that's totally up to what you signed into.
Sure.
But that's kind of a given right there.
Sure. So what is your background? Do you dabble in CBD, Delta 8? What do you, for yourself personally?
Mainly just medical marijuana on the THC side. I try not to get too involved in the Delta 8 side, just trying to stick to the natural, Delta 9.
I'm the same way.
Full through.
I'm the same way.
Also, the medical marijuana CBD can be very beneficial. For me in particular, I like 1-to-1s, to operate during the day, which is half CBD and half THC. It's not too psychoactive, so you're not going to feel too high in the head, but you are going to be able to still produce during the day, get everything done while still feeling relaxed. If you experience anxiety, PTSD, anything like that, you're gonna be cool, calm, and collected throughout the whole day with a nice 1-to-1. And then of course, when you get home, You can feel free to get whatever you want,
do what you do.
concentrates, whatever is going to get the job done to make you feel better. That's what we're here for. And
Now,
give you that advice.
next month is going to be our first month that we have a Cannabis Doc here in our building. And so explain to everybody what the process is going to be. I mean, we want it to be as chill and laid back as can be. Explain how the process is going to be.
So when they walk in the door, they'll sign in, they'll be met by one of our MAs. They'll go ahead and give them the intake form, if it's not completed just yet, to go ahead and fill out for our doctor. That's what the doctor is going to go ahead and use in the consultation. It'll be about a 10-minute visit with her. She's going to go over that with you to go ahead and qualify you. Once that's completed, she's going to give you a folder to complete your last steps, as mentioned before. Once you do that online, it'll take you about 3 minutes. You'll then be approved. You can go right to the dispensary. It's that simple.
Life is good.
Exactly.
Life is
Our
good.
whole model really is just simple, affordable, fast, and friendly.
Wow.
So we're going to produce on that every single time for you guys.
Unbelievable. Now, for somebody I got my card years ago, but I think I got it like way in Clearwater. For somebody, if somebody has their card elsewhere, are they allowed to renew at a different location? That's okay?
100%. We take transfer patients in. You're not going to be having to pay a first-time patient fee at all. It'll be just a renewal cost at $150. I've also been talking to staff. We might possibly lower that a little bit for some transfers. Because we do know some people feel stuck at their current doctor.
Sure.
But you can always transfer over. It's a super simple process. Our staff will walk you through. It's 2 clicks of a button on your profile, and you're transferred on over.
And that's it. So if anybody wants right now, like we're gonna start this, I think June 3rd, I believe. So where do they go right now if they want to see where you guys are located?
So you can visit our site, cannabisdocgroup.com, and that pretty much has everything you could possibly want to know. Our FAQ section answers all the questions that you could possibly want to know, along with scheduling, a little bit about each one of our doctors. And then you can always call our staff too. We're always available 9 to 5 every day except Sunday to answer any possible question you have. We'll get it answered.
Now, this is another thing people always ask me. Do I have to bring my paperwork? Do I have to get a doctor's note? So they're coming in to see a doctor, so they don't have to come in with any literature, correct?
Correct. Every one of our doctors is certified MDs and DOs, so they can qualify you. You don't need any type of recommendation from your current physician. Our doctors will go ahead and take care of you fully. So really just sit back and relax. We got you handled.
Now you seem to be on top of cannabis, and where do you go? Where do you go next? You're a young. I'm saying you're a young kid. You're young compared to me. You're not really young, but you're young compared to me.
Gotcha.
A young entrepreneur like yourself. Where do you go next with cannabis?
Next venture, I want to get involved in the consumption lounges. That's why I can't wait for our parties coming up.
How soon do you think? How soon?
So it all depends on how the legislation is going to be drawn out.
Okay.
There was legislation put in this past year to try to tax the consumption lounge a certain percentage per milligram that the patient is consuming at the lounge. I personally don't think that's the right way to do it. It did get shut down in health policy, so that's kind of off the table for now. Realistically, when it goes recreational, you'll probably see a lot more consumption lounges pop up.
Sure.
But I'd like to get the jump on things like we're doing here with these parties. As long as you're a card holder, you will be able to come in here and, partake in your medication in a friendly environment with other people who have their med cards as well.
Like to me, like we're outside, okay, in the beautiful wilderness. I do have my medical card, so if I'm sitting here smoking something, I don't know who I could be upsetting. Even if I was in a building with my medical card and the owners say it's okay, I don't even understand why that's not okay today. Like it's a technicality, right?
It is.
It's not even really against the law.
It is. It's not against the
law.
law.
It's not against the law.
Correct.
Unless you run into a cop who's pissed off.
And even if you do that, we'll wait for the motorcycle.
There you go.
And even if you were to do that, you can actually honestly educate the cop on that. They've been through certain training, but we've come across cops that have called us to go ahead and clarify that a patient is a patient. We explain it to them, and they're all good. They're open to it and hearing all about it. And honestly, if you ever got in any trouble, you're welcome to call our office, and we can always take care of you and talk to the cop too and educate them.
Awesome. Looking forward to doing business. I'm just not trying to educate any cops anytime soon. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk to my boy AJ from Beech Kombucha. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Plant Power Podcast, and big ups to Austin Kelly and Cannabis Doc, who will be at the Dignitary Kava House coming real soon. So for those of you that are contemplating getting your card, hold up. We're going to be doing it right here, 4817 Southwest Shore Boulevard, very conveniently located. Now, we try to associate ourselves with brilliant business people in the Tampa Bay area. Austin was one, and here's another one right here. I got my boy AJ Moreno from Beech Kombucha. How you doing, brother, man?
Doing well, man. Thank you very much.
How's life treating you?
Very good, man. There are no complaints whatsoever.
There you go. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, AJ. I just got into kava about a year ago, kratom about a year ago, and I'm really getting into kombucha now. It's a new thing for me. Now, first of all, what's your background in kombucha?
I was just a huge fan of kombucha, man. I just fell in love with it almost immediately. I love the idea, the health benefits behind it. And then to the point to where I had to start brewing it myself. I was just spending too much money on it.
Yeah, understandable.
And yeah, it became a thing for me, and it's definitely a hobby without a doubt. It turned into a passion.
No doubt. So you said the health benefits of kombucha. Like I'm first getting into it now. From what I hear, it's all about gut health. But talk about the benefits health-wise for kombucha.
That's the biggest thing, is the probiotics that you're getting from this. It's just getting your gut back in order. You know, we eat so much unusual food these days. The GMOs that are in our foods, everything's processed these days. So our guts aren't what they're supposed to be.
No, I would say you're probably right. And I've heard, like, there's a lot of different things that keep us well, okay? But they say your brain is one, and your gut's next in line.
They call your gut your second brain.
Isn't that crazy?
And that's exactly it. It's pretty wild.
No doubt.
It controls about 70% of your immune system, all dependent on your gut health.
Really?
And so much more is connected to your gut, to your mental clarity, just your thought process in general.
Sure.
So, I mean, it makes sense if you think about what you're taking in. That's exactly what you're putting back out, whether it's, you know, through your skin, through your brain, all of that, man. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty simple to think about that.
No doubt. So you started off brewing it by yourself. So you're just brewing it at home.
That's exactly
I'll be honest with you. I know nothing about kombucha. I know it's fermented some way. I mean, explain the process.
The simplest way about it is just a fermented tea. You take a sweet tea and you throw a starter fluid into it, kind of like very similar to what is it, sourdough bread.
Okay.
You have a starter that kind of inoculates and then ferments the bread. Very similar to what you do with the actual tea. You just put a starter fluid into it.
Sure.
It takes over and it completely changes. It doesn't taste like tea whatsoever anymore.
It does not. It doesn't.
It's its own little taste to it, its own little twang.
You know, and a lot of things like kava has a very different taste to it. Kratom just tastes like tea, but kombucha has another a unique taste to it. It's kind of got that carbonated, but it's got that little twang to it. What is that? What's the difference? I mean, is it the fermentation?
It's
part
the
of it?
fermentation. That's exactly what it is. Almost like a cider, almost like you know, even beer doesn't taste like the oats and barley that it actually originated as.
Sure.
So it's just its own change of the tea itself.
Sure.
The acetic acid, which gives it almost a vinegary taste for a lot of kombucha. If you over ferment it, it becomes vinegar.
Okay.
A very healthy vinegar too. You can make salad dressings out of it, all sorts of things. You can even make a face mask. You can clean yourself with it. It's multi-purpose without a doubt.
Kombucha salad dressing sounds interesting.
Yeah, gone right. Yeah.
No doubt. Now we're selling a couple different ones here. We have what are the two flavors we have
so
here?
You got the heartbeat here, which I brew. It's a beet, carrot, and turmeric.
That's my favorite, brother.
And that's exactly.
I absolutely love
through
it.
and through the day, and it's one of my favorites. But the other one you have on tap is called the Holy Wood. It's got a Palo Santo, literally Palo Santo wood chips that go into the fermenter, along with holy basil and lemongrass, which we grow at our shop in our food forest.
Really?
Yeah.
So everybody, like everything else, you could do too much of something. I mean, how much kombucha do you drink a day?
I drink quite a bit. I drink around a gallon.
A gallon?
Easily. A gallon throughout the day. There's no problem with it, man.
So wait. So you can't drink too much kombucha?
You can't. Just drink a lot of water with it. If you're drinking the amounts that I drink at, you're going to need a lot of water. It is the acidity levels.
Sure,
It's just not that great to put that much of anything really in your body other than water. So I do drink a lot of water as well.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to, no doubt. So we have a couple flavors here. First of all, you have a freestanding building?
I do,
Beech
yeah, my
kombucha?
brick and mortar. It's in the warehouse district in St. Petersburg. It's off of 31st Street, and it's called Fremont Terrace. It's essentially 7th Ave South.
Okay.
We've been brewing there for a little over a year now, and we opened up our tasting room in September.
Okay.
So it's a really neat spot. We've got at least 12 flavors on tap, sometimes upwards of 18 flavors.
Wow, good for you.
All whole fruit and whole roots. So we don't use any extracts, no concentrates. We only use fresh, like herbs, vegetables, fruits, and no added sugar whatsoever.
No sugar at all?
No, when you do it this way, you don't have to add any sugar to it.
What about carbohydrates? Does it have carbohydrates in it at all?
I don't think it has. Yeah, I mean, it has the natural sugars that are going to be from like
probably
the
not a
beets.
lot though.
Exactly, yeah. It's not a lot at all. So like an alternative to soda, it's ridiculous amount of just so much less sugar. And it's real sugar. It's from the beet. It's from the strawberry. It's whatever that ingredient is that sweetens it up. So it's no sugar added to it, basically.
So kombucha, what would you say it's an alternative to? Like I would say kava, to me, was an alternative to alcohol. Okay, kratom might be more so maybe to coffee. You know,
right?
What's kombucha an alternative to?
It's an alternative to a lot of different things, but it is its own thing you should add into your diet, basically. It's a great alternative to coffee. There is a touch of caffeine in kombucha, so if you're still looking for that caffeine kick, you're not going to really feel that, but it hits on other things. It's got a lot of vitamin B12 in it. Okay. So you get a very natural boost of energy, and that you can feel literally with 1 cup of kombucha.
B12, like I don't think I ever.
B12 vitamins, yeah.
And everybody talks about needing B12, especially I think vegans need more B12 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, definitely. And this is a phenomenal source of B12.
Really?
Yeah.
So you find that a lot of I became vegan, more pescatarian here as of late. You see a lot of vegans drinking kombucha?
Without a doubt, for sure. I mean, it's for everybody though.
Sure.
I mean, it's just really just getting your gut back realigned. The more healthy you are, the more you can drink right off the bat. Yeah. But typically you want to kind of step your way slowly into
like
kombucha.
Everything else.
Yeah.
Like everything else. So where else can we find? We can find your tasting room, and I've actually been looking for a new place to hang out. Not hang out, but to find a place to put a kava bar. Yeah. And some people are saying that area is real cool. Any empty spaces over there?
I was just talking to Emily about this. There's a couple of spaces that are for lease, I know for sure.
Oh, really?
Over in the warehouse district. This is essentially where I'm at. Yeah, you definitely should. It's more than up and coming at this point. It's pretty much arrived.
That's what I hear. What kind of a feel? Like an artsy feel?
Definitely an artsy feel. So there's a lot of artists. Pretty much were running that place beforehand. Now a lot of commercial has come on and taken over a lot of the area. Sure. But it's the hopping spot for sure now. Okay. I'm just a couple blocks outside of that area. Okay. But there's a weekly or is it a monthly arts walk that goes through there. There's quite a few breweries over there now. It's definitely
coming up.
It's coming up without a doubt.
No doubt. So where else can we find Beech kombucha? I mean, what other restaurants, what other bars?
Yeah, so I'm in quite a few, for being as small as I am, I'm in quite a few good spots.
That's good.
Some breweries in St. Petersburg. Everything's pretty much St. Pete based.
So people that serve alcohol will also serve kombucha?
Absolutely.
Now that's what makes it different now. Yeah. Because you can't really serve alcohol in kava.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it goes with kombucha goes with alcohol.
It's a great for non-alcohol drinkers, basically. It gives them an alternative to say, hey, okay, I can chill here still and have a kombucha. It's got a nice flavor to it. There's different flavors typically at these places, and you can enjoy it just like a beer or wine. I mean, it's that complex. You can really break it down. Absolutely. And it's an enjoyable drink. And as far as the other side of it, you can mix it with vodka goes with all my flavors.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. I used to be a vodka drinker.
Right on.
And I used to mix vodka about everything.
So yeah, with the low sugar content, you don't think about soda anymore. You drink kombucha. But mixing it with like ginger ale, you go for our like Strictly Roots, which is ginger and turmeric.
There you go.
But yeah, it mixes well with alcohol for sure.
So are you a weed smoker?
I'm not.
You're not?
No.
You look like you would indulge a little bit.
I got that look, huh?
You got that look. I was gonna say, what are you smoking when you're trying to figure out all these different flavors that you're coming up with? I mean, how do you come up with the different flavors?
Yeah, so a lot of it's just in my head, just messing around. There's a lot of experiments that happen. Without a doubt, I've messed around with easily 300 plus just different things. Combinations. Okay. I've settled on over 115, I guess, of proven recipes that I've served through my shop and at the markets and at stores. And it's really fun, man. I mean, that's what keeps it interesting for me. It's just there's an unlimited amount of stuff you can put in this thing.
Do you cook?
Yeah, I used to be a huge cook, man.
Are you a chef? Or?
I wouldn't call myself a chef.
Well, I'm not a chef, but I mean, I can throw it down now.
You're damn right, yeah.
I can throw it down.
I know it goes good together.
You know what I mean?
And that's definitely what's helped out with a lot with this, just breaking these flavors down.
So how do you start with flavors? Kombucha, what you come up with a savory, a sweet, a sour? How does that work?
So I like to mix an herb almost with everything. You got to think it's already kind of an acidic drink, so I don't go for very passion fruit's kind of an acidic drink or acidic fruit. Goes great though with kombucha. There's certain things that you just don't need to really mix with kombucha because it's already that level, but something a little sweet and then very herby or earthy with the beets, carrots, and turmeric. Okay. Phenomenal with the twang that the kombucha puts on it.
And it seems like kombucha in general is health conscious because all the things that you're mixing in with it are also health conscious. We're talking about turmeric and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
So what is your average a person that walks into Beech Kombucha? I'm sure it's a lot of different people. Well, what's your average
Definitely
client?
health conscious,
Yeah.
without a doubt. It's on the health movement of things, and it's definitely been on a uptrend for quite a while now, and it's people know it's healthy.
No doubt.
And a lot of times before they've found Beech Kombucha, it's not the easiest drink to drink. Sometimes you find some unusual ones that are a little tough to drink. And people are kind of forcing it down because they know it's healthy.
Correct.
Now you found Beech Kombucha. It's healthy and it's absolutely one of the tastiest things you're gonna put in your mouth.
I love it. I love it. How long have you been involved with kombucha?
Long time now. Easily over 6-7 years, maybe.
And how long has it been part of our culture?
Thousands of over.
In the United States?
Probably been popular for the last 30. Not popular by any means, but it's been around for 30 years easily.
It seems the last 10 years it's picked up.
It's been jumping off over the last 10 years for sure. But
so
it's been around for a long time.
Where do you see kombucha going in the next 10 years? I mean, I bet it's going to probably.
I don't think it's just a trend.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, the idea that we're just getting healthier and more health conscious about things. This is going to be on the front end of a lot of people's diets.
I think you're right about that, and I think when you talk about kava and kratom and kombucha is kind of in the same category. I think a lot of people now know that alcohol is not good for you, first and foremost. They don't like to be around a lot of drunk idiots. You know what I mean? So I think one day there might be a kombucha bar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you guys are anyway.
That's exactly what I've opened up. Yeah.
So how about that?
Yeah, I can see it, man, for sure.
Down the way, and and we're evolving here in the Dignitary Kava House to bring in as many good things for you as we can. We had Austin Kelly, Cannabis Doc in here. Cannabis, kombucha, kava, kratom, all the herbs out here. Everybody's sitting out here. It's a beautiful vibe.
It really is. It's a wonderful vibe. I think it's really cool that people are finally learning the health benefits of all these alternative things that are out there. And
your beard fits in perfectly with the whole motif of this whole thing. So tell people how, if somebody wants to get in touch with you and maybe have Beech Kombucha at their place, or they want to show up at your place, how do they find you?
You can find us at beechkombucha.com, and it's beech like the beech tree, BEECH. Find us on Instagram at beechbucha, BUCHA. And come to our shop. It's absolutely amazing. The vibe there is incredible, man. It's a chill little spot. And it's at 3100 Fremont Terrace South in St. Petersburg. It's come by, get a full tasting going on. Come chill out in our food forest. And we just did a lot of renovations to our actual tasting room. It's 3 times the size. We got seating in there. A lot more seating, I should say.
Absolutely.
It's chill, man.
Well, I'm going to try to help you out any way I can, brother. I think you're doing a wonderful job. I'm going to come by and check it out soon. I'd even like to get you on our radio show to pump up your product. And
that'd be phenomenal.
It's time for people to get some kombucha in their life. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if for anybody wanting to check out kombucha, you can go check them out at Beech, BEECH, or we're over here at Dignitary Kava House. We have a couple of his flavors here, and they're selling like hotcakes. You better get here quickly because I'm drinking them all up, if you know what I'm saying. We appreciate everybody. Thank you to Curaleaf for being our title sponsor. Get out there and smoke something delicious this week. I know I will. Peace out.